Hello. Today I am coming to you as I put on my makeup. I have dinner plans, very rare. I also have a couple of hours before those said dinner plans, so I thought I would, put the time to use. Normally I would be knitting, but I am experiencing pain in my hand currently. So I'm trying to take a break from repetitive hand motion, I guess. So we're doing sewing instead of knitting, which is still creative, making garments-ish. The way that I've been thinking about them is kind of like chores. Because I've been putting these off for like months at this point. And they're not very hard. They shouldn't really take that long overall. But I just kept putting them off. With sewing, I don't know if this is the case with just me or if other people agree, but I feel like with sewing you really have to like kind of sit down, and like plan and dedicate a couple of hours to it. But knitting it's like less committal. Is that a word? Less that you have to commit to in terms of time and like brain effort. So I end up always choosing knitting over the sewing, which is why I haven't like touched my sewing machine basically for like months. And how these projects kind of accumulated over the past couple of months. Oh, and I forgot to say what I'm wearing. That was a reminder because I saw the green. This is the Nelly sweater that I finished and I talked about in one of the podcasts that I did a while ago. But yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah, they're like repairs for garments basically. Some are for me, some are for my boyfriend that I said I will take on for him, and proceeded to leave him without his clothes for like 3 months at this point. Before anyone asks, I put this on because I have rosacea and the green kind of counteracts the red. Unsure, but I might have a glass of wine at dinner, which is much later, but like I will get very red. Not because I have like Asian flush or something. I think it's just because I'm like pretty pink in general, and it just gets so much worse because of the rosacea, which probably is an indication that I should probably stop drinking, but life is short. All right, I'm gonna turn this off because I can't talk and do this at the same time. No, I'll be right back. I have finished. If you're like, bro, you look the same.com, that is because I was not gifted in cosmetic artistry. Okay, well, let's talk about what we're actually going to do today. I have cat hair in my mouth. We have a couple shirts to fix, t-shirts. Welcome to my sewing corner. And these two have the same problem. This guy, the neckline is like really wavy. It's just because the ribbing has stretched out, and it's the same here kind of. And what I'm going to do is just put in like an elastic thread. I'm gonna make a little tiny hole in the back of the neck, and then it should tighten back up. So that's what I'm gonna do for that. And then I have this t-shirt here that my boyfriend, he wanted the length on this shortened, so what I'm going to do is just run this through a serger, cut off like 2 inches or so, and then just hem it up. And then we have jeans. I forget what's wrong with them. I think it's in like one of these pockets there's a hole, so I'm just going to patch that up. I made this shirt yesterday. This is the fabric I'm using. I think all the construction is finished now. So at this point, I just need to put in some buttons, which is a very dreaded topic, because I can never get them right. I can never space them right, and that's because I don't count. And then she actually has a sister, or a twin? I guess a sister, right? Because they were not born at the same... Anyway, I'm getting into technicality. Other than the fact that she's very wrinkly, she has another problem. Here, I never put in the sleeve buttons. I always wear my... you can see it over there on the right or the left sleeve. I always wear them rolled up. So I was on a time crunch. I like made this before I like was going somewhere and I really wanted to wear it, so I just never bothered with the sleeve buttons, and it's been like 6 months since I made this, so I'm going to do that today. Original plan for this shirt was that I was going to just feed it into my serger and just have it cut off the ends as I'm finishing the ends, but there's a lot that I have to trim, so I think I'm going to attack it with my, what are these called, rotary cutter, and then chop it off and then feed it through the serger. A law-abiding citizen should probably change out the color of the thread, but I don't have black serger thread, and I also don't really care because this is supposed to be rolled up and out of the way anyways, so feel free to attack me. So life is pain. And I've definitely cut too much off. I like saw it after I serged it and I was like, oh no, this isn't right. Like, that's a crop top. So what I'm going to do is add this back to the edge of this and then kind of do surgery, I guess, so that I would still have a hem that's about this long. I'm adding this much back, basically. I don't know, like, what? I measured it before I cut it on the person, so I don't know what happened. Maybe he got taller since I measured. Also, another thing that I just noticed is that this t-shirt doesn't have side seams. Am I missing something? How is that possible? Aren't you supposed to cut a front and a back and then have sleeves? Does anyone know how this is supposed to work? Now that we're still on the machine, we have the unpleasant task of picking up buttons for these shirts. This shirt, I need 2 on the sleeves. And this button that I used, I don't think I have any more of it. So I'm gonna use this, which is similar in shape, but different in finish and the number of buttonholes, but who's gonna notice this on the sleeves? This one, I don't think I want, this one has 7 down the front, so I wanted 7 down the front here, but I don't think I have any buttons that I have in 7. Like this circle one could look kind of nice, but I don't have enough of it. I only have 6, I believe. So I might have to just use these like basic clear shirt buttons. I got this like a million years ago at Daiso. And it came in like a pack of like a bajillion, so I definitely had enough of this. I don't think it looks that great proportionally because what is this? The placket is a little bit thick compared to this. This is like half an inch. This is definitely like an inch. But, you know, it is what it is. I was observing a shirt that I already have, like a commercial shirt, and it seems like there's a button here and a button here. So that means I would need 4 for the sleeves. And the thought of just having to stitch on more buttons kills me inside, but I guess I should, since I'm returning to this after 6 months, I should do it right. 9 divided by 2, so 4.5. Highly unscientific how I do this. I just measure what I think is like the middle, the ruler, and then these are supposed to be, the buttonholes are supposed to be that way. Yeah, that was good. The sun is going down. So I've turned on my little lamp here, but I have finished getting all the buttonholes on the 2 shirts. I think I have about an hour and a half until I gotta leave the house. What I have left is adding the buttons to the shirts, and then the pocket fixing on the jeans, and then adding the elastic. So after this is pretty much all hand sewing. I think I'm going to try putting the buttons on the shirts using the machine, because I just like don't really want to be hand sewing like 10-12 buttons today. So we'll see how that goes. I've done it in the past and it worked pretty well. I've also cracked a button before, so I mean, we're just gonna test our luck today with that. But yeah, I'll report back after I've done that. So I'm pretty sure people who sew a lot already know this, but I've only used this like twice, so I just wanted to mention this is the button foot, button attachment foot. Oh my god, my machine is so dusty. But this part of the foot is rubber, and it holds your button like down onto the fabric with the pressure. And then you have to set the length of your stitches to be 0, and then the width, I mean, I'll have to adjust this when I get the button onto the fabric, because it says that the left swing of your your needle has to be aligned with the left hole of the button. So that's how it's gonna be. Also, like, I realized those probably work the best, that foot probably works the best with like 2 hole buttons rather than 4. So I'm debating if I would just want to stitch it diagonally like this, or if I should try and do both of the holes. I don't know, we'll see.
Other large containers are subject to random search by the police. Thanks for riding with us.
Is this deja vu? Kind of. So yesterday, I ran out of time before going to dinner. So I basically didn't finish the rest of what I was planning to do with the crafts. I did finish putting buttons on the shirt, but you know what I mean? Like, I roll this up always, so I feel like I don't really need the buttons there, but it's good for the sake of completeness, I guess. And then I went to dinner with my friends, and it was really fun. Where we went to was Buvette in, oh my god, where was it? I think it was in Greenwich Village. I might be making that up. But apparently they have a bunch of other locations around the world. They have one in Paris, and they have one in Korea, like Seoul randomly, which I thought was pretty funny. The food was really good. What did I get? I got, oh my god, I'm gonna butcher the pronunciation. Coq au vin. Anyway, I was debating between that and getting their cassoulet, because the staff said it was really good, but it was good. It came in like a dish like yay big. But at the risk of, I have to say this, at the risk of me sounding like an uncultured swine, basically, but I don't know why I got like barbecue sauce vibes from the dish. Like, is that kind of sacrilegious that I said that? Is that wrong? I'm not sure. But it was really good. It's like elevated barbecue sauce chicken, you know? Speaking of barbecue, I went to school up in like Rochester, New York, and I don't know if anyone's had dinosaur barbecue there. They used to like come to our school for lunch a lot of the times, and I remember them being really good. I don't know, that was just like a random train of thought thing. Today, since the weather's nice again and I can film, probably, I'm going to take the morning to try and wrap up the rest of the projects that I had, which I finished all the sewing on the sewing machine part, so I think I'm going to do all the hand sewing stuff and then show you a little bit of that. And then my hand feels a lot better today, so I think I will knit some as well, but then that's where we'll end the video. So yeah. So I wanted to talk about this actually really briefly, because I thought I had made 2 of them, but I actually have 4 of the same shirts basically. This one is so janky, and I made this when I first really started getting into sewing, which was like, 2020. I drafted the pattern from an existing shirt that I had that I bought from In Other Stories. I wish I had it to compare, but I got rid of it. You can already tell. I try to iron it out, but like the construction isn't the best. The seams are puckering because I think I had tension issues. The neck, the collar, I definitely drafted it wrong. So you can tell, well, first of all, the stitching is abysmal, but if you turn it around and flip the collar up, like, what is going on here? I think I like drafted the collar stand too short. So instead of drafting another one, and I don't know why I didn't, because I had enough fabric. This is made from like old bed sheets, and I just like ended up gathering really poorly and then tried to shove it under the collar stand. And then I also didn't know about shirt sleeve plackets. I sewed on the sleeves, and then I got to the end and I was like, oh my god, how are they supposed to like open and close? So I didn't account for like that extra fabric, I guess, to kind of put a vent in the sleeve. So this is literally like the what is this? The stitching, the seam allowance of the shirt seam, just folded over really badly and then stitched. I still wear it because this is like the oversized white shirt that I have. I have a couple others, but they're not. The arm size on this is really large, so it's good for when I want to shove a bigger shirt or something underneath it. So I still wear it a lot. It's just like I gotta air out my dirty laundry, I guess. My secrets about how bad this is. I also, like, another thing, I sewed on the sleeves backwards, or like on the opposite. So this is actually this sleeve, and this sleeve is actually this sleeve, I think. But I never fixed it. I mean, you'll see in the other shirts, but this opening, like, is supposed to be on the back of the sleeve. So like, what were they doing with this? So after I had that fiasco, I approached this shirt. I made this last year. After I saw the Miu Miu set that kind of went viral. There was like this colored blue shirt that was matched to the set. The difference was that it was cropped and it had like a pocket that says Miu Miu on it. But you know, I just wanted a blue shirt, so I made this. And then already the difference is I redrafted the collar so the stand actually fits. And here you can see that the button placket down the front is smaller. That wasn't by design. I just honestly like ran out of fabric and I just cut out some strips, and that's how that happened. The stitching is a lot better. This has contrast stitching, and I also like made a commercial pattern of a shirt between the first one and this one, so I actually understood like the construction order of making a button down. So there was that. The top here is a little bit better spaced out. And then I learned about how to put in a shirt placket, sleeve placket. So there it is. And then I added buttons yesterday. So it's actually functioning now. And this has a pointed placket and closes like that. A vast major improvement in was it a year? 2 years, I guess. There were 2 years in between, approximately 2 years between me making the first one and this one. And then the next one, this is the third one. This is a summer version, I guess. This is made out of linen. And I got the fabric from another shirt that I made, or dress in the beginning. So it looks kind of not the best. But it's the same pattern, but just short sleeves and shorter in the body. It's a nice summer shirt. I don't wear it in the winter because this is, yeah, the fabric isn't really matching for the season. And this is the last one, the latest one that I made. At this point, I feel like I have the construction pretty much down. All the buttons are in. Placket. Again, this one's a little bit different because it's squared up at the top and not pointed like the blue one. But buttons. It's gonna be a good shirt to wear. I think I'll get a lot of wear out of this. Okay, well, that took longer than just a day to get all of that sorted out, but it was a nice productive time. Kind of different from my usual knitting content, but my hand feels a lot better now, and I'm going to return to knitting now that I've given myself the clearance to pursue my yarn dreams again. I mean, it's good that I got a lot of these sewing related chores knocked out. I've been sitting on them for literal months, so I'm glad to have a nice shirt. I'm glad to have sleeves that button up. I'm glad to have t-shirts that don't have their necks all stretched out and look bad. And I'm glad my boyfriend isn't gonna lose his keys while wearing those jeans. Let me know if you'd like to see more of this kind of stuff. Let me know what you guys think. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.